Do you think we're more or less likely to see a Brady versus Mahomes rematch next year?
I'd say more. I'd say more. And by the way, I think it's Todd Bowles' beatdown of Kansas City more so than Tom Brady, just for the record. But I would say, yeah, I think it's more likely than I'm not guaranteeing it, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's better than a 50-50 proposition that it'll happen. And the reason I feel that way is because who in the AFC is standing in Kansas City's way? Well, you know, Buffalo is still about Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Pittsburgh, don't get me started with them. All right, get a running game before we can talk about Pittsburgh. When we look at some of the other teams that are available, Cleveland's on the come up, yeah. Baltimore can't be summarily dismissed. I understand that. But Kansas City's still that team. Kansas City's still that team. Then we look in the NFC.
That's tougher.
That's tougher, no doubt. But Matt LaFleur, I mean, I'm not sold on Green Bay, even though that's why I was foolish. Because remember, all season long, I picked Tampa Bay to go to the Super Bowl, and I jumped off because of that bad man. Yeah. Little did I know that Mr. LaFleur would take the ball out of his hands, you know, on a 4th and goal and whatever, and ask a defense to prevent Tom Brady from getting a first down, okay? Because you got 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning available to you. All right. Then we look in the NFC. I don't expect Drew Brees to be there.
Yeah.
All right. So New Orleans is going to be altered to some degree.
Although maybe better depending on who is there.
Yeah, but Seattle, you know, they're good. They're there. The Rams are
Stafford might do something.
Now, he might.
Right?
He might because the defense is big time. And he might.
Honestly.
But he might not.
Yeah.
Listen, if you ain't never won a playoff game in your career.
But he wasn't in a position to succeed in Detroit.
Yeah, I understand. I understand your love for Detroit. I get it. But the flip side to it, Molly, is that, damn, you've been around a while. Not one playoff win? I mean, I understand why you didn't win the Super Bowl. Not one playoff win? I mean, you can fall into that. I'm just saying, I got to look at that, too.
Would Tom Brady have won a playoff game in Detroit?
I know.
So for me, the way I look at it is just that I'm like, listen, I give them better than a 50-50 chance now that they've learned how to win. To be the favorites, and if Tom Brady and everybody comes back, of course, we're making that assumption. If that happens, I would say it's better than 50-50 proposition that we got a rematch.
I think it's less, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I learned a lesson that I should have already known. Remember I said I took Kansas City against the field, not as the odds-on favorite, but just purely as the favorite all year. But the problem in the NFL is you can say that before the season. I don't know the health of the offensive line come Super Bowl time.
Of course.
You know, like 2 guys, I thought they should have been underdogs.
And it had a major impact.
Of course, and so you don't know. And I would say very few teams ever get back to the Super Bowl and back-to-back. That's hard to do. We need 2 teams to do it. Stephen A., instead of going through all the iterations or all the teams that you just mentioned, let me just say, if the Ravens get some dynamic playmakers on that offense, I wouldn't say Lamar couldn't get there. Maybe they're very, very tough to beat if that's the case. And one big thing I think you overlook, Stephen A., what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson? Where is he going to land?
Great point.
Because if Deshaun winds up on Miami, the way they were playing, and all of a sudden it's the Miami Dolphins with Deshaun Watson, I think very differently about things. If the Chiefs are in a similar situation on the O-line, which they may have to rebuild a little bit right now, and they run into Buffalo and Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, maybe a different situation. I think there's a good enough chance that these 2 meet again in the Super Bowl with Brady and Mahomes in the next couple of years that I'm hopeful that we'll see it. But I would handicapping it. I give it next year a 10 or 20% chance.
All I'm trying to say to you is you gave me a whole bunch of ifs. We don't know where Deshaun Watson is going to end up. We don't know whether Baltimore's going to get Lamar Jackson those weapons. So when I look at it from that perspective, come back and talk to me when they do it.
Yeah.
As presently constructed, I would say these 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl, it's a better than 50-50.
I'll give you one more then. I'll give you one more.
Sure.
Green Bay drafted a backup or a successor in the 1st round last year. They ain't doing that this year. We should expect a Green Bay Packers team that keeps getting better to give Aaron Rodgers weapons.
Why should we expect that? Why should we expect that?
What are they going to do with the draft pick?
He's been
They
there
need
since
to look
2005.
at what
They
happened in
haven't done it.
Tampa.
What are they going to do with the draft pick?
He's been there since
If
2005.
I'm Aaron Rodgers and I'm Russell Wilson, I saw him. Congrats on Walter Payton Man of the Year award. He was with his beautiful wife, Sierra. I would have loved to see him in the Super Bowl next year. Aaron Rodgers. They need to get on the phone like Tom Brady and get some talent to come play with them.
You're right.
So they,
by the way, that adds
so they have a shot to compete. Both of them. Rodgers.
Hold it. You're wrong.
Why?
I don't think you can say that about Seattle. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett.
No, he needs
Carson.
help on defense.
Yeah.
That
But I'm saying
defense
you
has got to get better.
you went out and got Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
All right. Who did you get?
The defense
They
isn't
have
good
Bobby
enough.
Wagner still.
You had Bobby Wagner still. Who's the kid that they
need
got?
more.
Dunbar. They picked him up as well.
At
Listen,
trade
I'm
deadline,
saying
Still wasn't good
they
enough.
made they made moves.
No, but Molly's point to me is a good one. Brady's his greatness, part of it is leadership. Part of it is acting as a magnet for talent, the way LeBron does. I agree with you. Those guys should be working it. You're right.
Right? Be thirsty. Look how it happened for Tom Brady.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.